y'all. Welcome to another episode of Real Talk with Boutique. Today we have some fabulous folks here with us. We have Kelsey Nelson, the Boutique Real Estate Team Manager and Brand Manager. And then our special guest today is Amanda Winter with Finance of America. She is extremely well versed in lending. Absolutely a pleasure to work with. And we are going to feature her today to get you some great tips, information, and encouragement on the market. So with that, I am going to have the mic handed here virtually to her, and I'm going to let her fill us in on what's happening in the market. Today is the 11th of September 2020.
Hi everybody. So quick market update. As I'm sure you've seen all over the news, it is an incredible year for real estate and lending. We're seeing some of the best rates we've seen in a very long time. Purchases are being prioritized by most companies across the board. You aren't seeing a longer process on those, which is great. So they're still closing in 30 days or less in most cases. And you're seeing a great uptick in the down payment assistance programs that are available for first-time home buyers. And the government-backed programs have also loosened some of those stricter guidelines they put on when COVID first started. So definitely seeing a very healthy, rebounding market, and looking forward to helping all of the families that we have in process.
So I'm going to ask a couple questions. So we've done some pretty phenomenal transactions in the last couple of years for clients that are kind of unique. One of the things that I feel that not only Finance of America, but Amanda specialize in is there are buyers out there that don't feel that they're qualified to buy. They're like, I just don't have enough money down. I don't have a great credit score. I don't know what to do. And what I love about working with her is that she is very great at researching grants and things that normally people don't think about. The government has grants out there that you do not pay back, down payment grants. And most people don't know that, so they wait too long. So I'm going to have her talk a little bit about that. But what I want you to know is if you have someone who's even renting and feels like they just don't feel that they're qualified to buy, please have them reach out, because Boutique as a company is very focused on your financial process long-term, your long-term life, your investment, your portfolio, which is why we work with people like Finance of America and Amanda Winter, because they also aren't looking to do a transactional only relationship. They will dig deeper. We've had clients that have taken up to a year, 2 years, and 6 years. My favorite one, I have a wonderful client who was a waitress, and it took us about 6 years to get not only her credit, but her income leveled out. And she's in her home, and she would have never done that had we not been a good supporter and encourager. So talk to us a little bit about some of the grant programs we talked about recently that we've used.
So my favorite one is called the Open Door program. You don't have to be a first-time home buyer, which is a really big, important thing. And being a first-time home buyer typically just means you haven't owned in the last 3 years. But on this program, you don't have to be a first-time home buyer, which is excellent news for people maybe changing things in their life or selling and downsizing, doing different things that they might need to do. But the biggest aspect about this program is it's a partial grant and a partial silent loan. The silent loan does not accrue any interest, and it never requires a payment on it until you sell or refinance your home. So there are very few programs out there that give you that type of assistance where they're not going to accrue interest and where you won't end up paying more back in the long run. So it's a really great program. It does require a minimum credit score, but not as high as you might think. Yeah. And it does have income restrictions, but you can actually make quite a bit of income before you would risk not qualifying for the program. So it's a really great way to get in the door, sometimes in certain cases for as little as an earnest money deposit.
And what that means with earnest money deposit for the folks that don't know is...
So an earnest money deposit is the deposit you put in up front when you get into escrow, usually in the first 5 days. And the general rule is it's about 1% of your purchase price. So at a $300,000 purchase price, it would be a $3,000 deposit. But that's negotiable, and that's something your agent can advise you, Dana or somebody else on the team can advise you what would be an appropriate amount for that deposit. per the transaction.
And that deposit goes towards your down payment. So it's not like you're giving additional funds. And so with an earnest money deposit, we always like to educate here on Boutique. That's really important. When you put an earnest money deposit down and you're investigating the property in escrow and you're working with your lender, Amanda, or whomever, during that time frame, that money sits there in a neutral third-party escrow account. And let's say that you decide that there's, something wrong with the house that just doesn't fit for you. It's not going to work. That earnest money deposit is refundable in our county, of course, up until you put in writing that you 100% are removing all of your investigatory contingencies. So FYI, 1, it goes toward your down payment, and 2, it is refundable up till you remove all your contingencies late in the escrow process. So that's pretty awesome. And when she was talking about the grant program that sits and you don't really necessarily have to make a payment until you pay it back, there are grant program portions where you don't have to ever pay that back.
Those are rare.
Those are rare,
it's
rare.
Very rare, and only certain professions qualify for that program, but that's actually a little bit different. It's under the Platinum program.
Okay.
The Open Door program does have to be repaid.
Yes.
But like I said, it doesn't accrue any interest, and it's usually the smaller portion of the funds. So with how the grant is set up on an FHA loan, for example, so that's through the Federal Housing Administration, you would get most of the funds in a grant, which is free money that is immediately free, does not have to be paid back. And about a third of what you borrow is actually borrowed. And it's on that silent second loan that doesn't have to be repaid until you sell a refi. So really the only way it's probably the only program that gives that kind of money for free and gets you in the door of a home to where you're not waiting 3 to 5 years to save up that kind of money.
And it's interesting to me that when I talk to multiple lenders, because I love all of our lenders out there, there's love for everyone, but not everyone has worked with those programs or knows about them. So that if you're a buyer and your lender doesn't know about them, you're missing that opportunity. So I encourage you to reach out to other companies. Finance of America, is one of my favorites. I've been with them through evolution as they've changed ownership a few times in a positive way, always for the better. I want to talk about culture a little bit while we have Amanda here with Kelsey, because Kelsey is our brand manager and our team manager. And we just have a special culture. We really believe, I don't know, for the millennials and folks that are not of my generation may not know what I mean by the HP way, but there was a book written years ago called The HP Way. And it really has a connotation that I love to transition into our team and our vendors that we work with, where everyone is each other's client and we treat each other like a client. And I don't know why, but we always treat our clients sometimes better than our friends or family. And I think it's really important that everyone has the same positive attitude, or I want to help you attitude. So when we bring people onto Real Talk with Boutique, we want them to know that everyone has the same culture concept. So I'm going to let Kelsey talk a little bit about when we are electing our vendors, what are some of the things that we like to do to synergize in our relationship so that it benefits you?
So we really want to know who our vendors are as individuals. It's super important that they can blend in with our team and contribute to that positivity culture. We want someone as a vendor who strives to be their best in everything that they do. Someone who will quickly admit to something that's gone wrong because it happens. Yes, it happens all the time. So someone who is willing to do what it takes to fix the problem and who is solution oriented in that. And really someone who just radiates positivity all the time, because in this business, so much can happen. It's a roller coaster with every transaction, and they need to be sure to see the silver lining in everything and have the happiness of the client really in top of their mind all the time.
So truthfully, in this crazy time, as we talked about the date of this recording, because this will be on YouTube for quite a while and all over social media for quite a while, we really truly have lived or tried to live into bringing joy and positivity to everyone's situation and understanding that we're all going through some really trying times. But if we can be a light in your day, and if we can buffer some of the stuff on the back end that you don't have to know is going on, that's not important enough to make your day worse, we'll handle it. And then we present it to you after we resolve the issue. But communication is mission critical for our vendors. And again, this is why Finance of America is on the very top of our list of vendors, because our communication is very fluid. And we require our vendors to be 7 days a week because we are a 7-day a week industry. So with that, I just want to see if there's anything else that Amanda wants to talk about, whether it's with regard to Finance America or things that are important to her that she'd like to impart on the community out there.
Absolutely, Dana. So biggest thing is you don't know until you ask. So ask, am I approved? What do I need to do to get approved? Is there something on my credit that might take time to fix? I am here for all of my clients. I am a resource at any time, even if you're not going to be ready to buy for a year to 2 years. I'm here for questions. We do credit rescoring. Not every company does that. I personally cover the cost to help fix things on your credit. Whether it's just, hey, if we pay this credit card down, you're going to be able to increase your score by 10 points. So there's a lot of things that go into the process of just knowing not to deposit a bunch of cash into your account, not
or buy a car.
Exactly, buy a car in the middle of your sale, not to go buy new furniture before you close, like all those really important things that you might not think about and you might not know because it's not something you do every day. And that's what I really pride myself on, is this is something I do every day. So it's my job to anticipate your questions, give you information you didn't know you needed to ask. But we are just a resource in the community. We, as a company, love to give back to our clients. Do a lot of client appreciation events, which I hope to invite you to someday when COVID is relaxed and we are allowed to safely congregate again. But we also do a lot of outreach to the community. We participate a lot with Stand Up Placer and help families in need. So that's a big reason why I stay at the company I stay at, because our acronym for Finance of America is FAM, and we call ourselves a family, and we take it very seriously to help your family and ours and everybody in the community. So
I love it. So that fits our culture very well. Kelsey, any other closing comments for you? It's been a blessing to have Amanda on today with us.
Yes, it has been. Thank you so much, Amanda,
Absolutely,
for joining
guys.
us.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
Have a great day.
Okay, everybody, have a great day. We'll see you again on Real Talk with Boutique.